Hi friends, this is Morgan with Compass Rose Astrology, and today we are doing a Halloween themed pick a card. So today we have 3 decks here that you can see, and we are using the Halloween Oracle and Darkwood Tarot to try to figure out what is the shadow experiences that you've been experiencing recently. What are the kind of darker aspects that you've had to endure, and what are the energies that we should be able to harness in order to move forward with it? So if this interests you and if you feel drawn to either of these 3 piles here, try to focus. We will take a deep breath, let it out, and focus on which pile here you feel most drawn to. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And I'll let you take a couple seconds here, taking a deep breath and figuring out which one you feel drawn to most. I will put the timestamps in the description box below so that you can jump to whichever pile you chose. And we will get to the very good past, present, future, and oracle card reading. Okay, pile 1. So we have for you here, the oracle card that we received was the Underworld, where all things pause and begin again. We have the pomegranate. That's typically the symbol of the underworld. It's of life and death and rebirth. It's what Persephone ate when she was brought into the underworld. And we can see that similar theme here with the Six of Swords. There's been a passage of sorts that you've had to go through recently. This is the card for me, which is the card of healing childhood trauma. So there's definitely something that you've had to go through recently where maybe you chose to move forward from something that was really solidly in your life for most of your life. It could be a thought pattern, perhaps a feeling of self-doubt and a lack of worth. And I also get very strong vibes that maybe there was some sort of feminine figure in your life that kind of not held you back, but that featured very prominently in your life from your past. This could even be a female coworker that was some sort of a boss or leadership figure. Could be a mother, could be an older sister too. But essentially, it's a feeling of moving away from them or away from their words. This could also be the epitome of the woman or the feminine figure that you felt you embodied, and you're now moving away from it because you realize that something in your life was not contributing to your happiness at all. And it could have been a long-held belief, a long-held opinion, and that could have been taught to you that made you think there was less self-worth, that you had no self-worth, and now you're moving forward and away from this belief or teaching that you were led to believe, and you're striking out not just on your own, but you're also putting yourself first. And it could be an incredibly lonely feeling that you're enduring right now, especially with this underworld and kind of Persephone and Hades imagery that's coming through with your underworld card. It could be separating you from the things that you loved, know, and have always experienced. And it's honestly making you at this moment feel like the hangman. And this is putting you in a state of limbo where you feel unsure. There's so much self-doubt here, even though you knew at the beginning that this was a move that you needed to make for your own sake. But I think now you're beginning to doubt yourself. And this card is telling you that you need to hang on. You need to just wait out this sense of unknown, because it's very much a dark night of the soul experience happening right here. We have this girl, her eyes are closed, and she's not looking forward. She's looking kind of back. Ooh, I hope it will focus, yeah. And she's just not certain of the future. She's not certain of what steps to take. And there's definitely a sense of really some poor coping mechanisms that you're leaving behind in the past. It could be some serious self-undoing that you're trying to escape. Because, when you don't believe in yourself, when you're told that you're worthless or told that you can only achieve so much, you carry that kind of stigma with you, and it makes that sometimes you make decisions that kind of live out that self-fulfilling prophecy, basically. And the world, the universe right now is just telling you need to hang on and wait. You need to not make a decision right now, or that's how you're feeling as well, because you're not entirely sure how to move forward. For your third card, we have the Justice card, which is an incredibly strong and wonderful card to end on. So Justice is telling us that what you deserve is coming to you. You didn't deserve what you have left behind, and you know that. You step forward on this path because you're smarter than that. You know yourself better than that. And yes, this is a very unsure time, but you know that what you deserve is coming to you. The Justice card is full of so much wisdom and experience, and with this experience that you've come through, there was a lot of self-doubt, but part of that self-doubt will give you the wisdom that you need to strike forward on your own. And instead of being that person that is blindfolded and unsure of everything, like the people at the Justice's feet here, you are going to be leading your life in a way that you know is more authentic to your true self. We also you have a lot of swords in this pile, which makes me think that maybe a lot of these limiting beliefs that you are escaping from were really mentally draining. And it could be words that you're leaving behind, you're forgetting, and not letting it define you anymore. Very much with this sword pointed up towards the sky, here you are in your power and telling the world that even if you are sometimes stuck in the depths of your own mind or stuck in the depths of some old beliefs that used to limit you, you now have the power to go through those depths in your own strength and guiding yourself through the life that you know that you deserve and that you should be embodying. This is very much a very strong card pull about seeing the demons in the darkness and not letting them define you. Not letting other people define you as well. I hope that this resonated with some of you. Please let me know in the comments below if this struck a chord with you at all. And now we will move on to group 2. Okay, group 2. So we have for your oracle card, we have the Skeleton card, which is the Strength card. This is very much similar to the actual Tarot Strength card, where you are integrating two sides, basically, of a person, the mental part and the emotional part, and you're letting them come together, both sides of the brain, right and left side of the brain, coming together to allow you to become the best and fullest part of your whole self here. And the Strength card is both your embodiment right now and the advice going forward with these cards that we pulled. So we have in the past, we have the Seven of Wands cards, and I feel like with this card, there's a lot of mental anguish, and so there's a lot of anxiety here. And I think it's regarding something that you experienced, which is embodied here by this kind of dark shadow. You've had a lot of mental chatter here with this experience, and a lot of people are trying to weigh in on their opinions here, and this experience here has been quite traumatic for you, actually. And it's having a lot of people tell you how to feel and how to think and how to behave now is causing you a lot of doubt and worry about how to move forward because you feel like you can't really sit with your feelings about this or sit with your own thoughts because there's so much else coming in at you. And maybe it's causing you to, like, your immune system to drop. Maybe you are getting a lot of brain fog. I'm just seeing a lot of like health like problems and issues that are kind of resulting from this experience and all of this chatter. Maybe you're just not sleeping well, or maybe you just don't feel well. You feel under the weather, and people are maybe trying to tell you to ignore it. Maybe you're even expected to just move on. This could be an experience such as like a divorce or like parents getting divorced, or just experiencing something that people want to weigh in on and have a lot of opinions on without even asking you for your opinion. This could even be like a therapist is like trying to give you advice, or maybe a like person that you look up to is trying to give you advice and they're just not listening to you. And so there's very much an air of solitariness right now and isolation, and it's not necessarily bad, but maybe it's a way that you've gone because it was hard to handle all of the noise and all of the expectations of what was happening in the past here for you. And so the Hermit card in your present position is telling you that with all the light, what I'm seeing here is we have all the lights here, all the fire and flames. This is all the voices and all the chatter and all the people telling you to feel a certain way, be a certain way. And here we have your own light. You're growing your light here. You are becoming the balance and the foundation that you need for yourself, but you're not really sure where to find that at the current moment. That's a bit of self-doubt that I'm sensing in this card. And that's also keeping you up at night, I imagine, because if you can't trust others, you're kind of having a little bit of a hard time trusting yourself even. But I see that you actually have an idea. There's a spark here. There's something that you feel like you want to follow. There's an idea or an emotion that you want to kind of pick at. You know, like maybe you understand what this trauma caused you, and you want to identify it a little bit further. You want to understand like who you are with this experience in your life and how you can move forward with it. And you just haven't had that opportunity to do that until now. And there's kind of not a light at the end of the tunnel here, but there's just sparks of ideas and thoughts and like maybe things that you can relate to that you weren't able to get from all of this extra discussion and other people's opinions and thoughts and feelings on the matter. You weren't able to really delve into it until now. And maybe you're just beginning to follow those breadcrumbs that allow you to do that and to kind of, what's the word? It would basically be like climbing to the top of the mountain to find that sun and understanding. And like right now you're just following the breadcrumbs through the forest to get to that mountain. But this is the correct path if you're curious and if you're wondering if you should be listening to everybody else or if you should be forming your own opinion on this or forming your own way forward. And it definitely is the right thing to do, especially with this strength card. This is finding that strength in yourself that allows you to form these thoughts and opinions and understandings of these things in your life. And we have that also in your future card with the Tower card. And this isn't necessarily a bad pull. A lot of people see the Tower card and they think, oh no, like everything's gonna fall apart in my future. And that's just not the case here, because we definitely have this like theme here of light. We have too much scattered thought and opinions and just other influences here. And then we have the one pinpoint of light here that's you going internal and going inside to kind of figure things out. And then we have this sudden strike of lightning here in this card. And what this means to me is that you're creating a foundation that is based not on the kind of external scattered light. This is based off of the lightning strike, the thought, the point of opinion and self that shows up in this Hermit card. You're allowing the things that were built up around you that weren't based on anything true for you in your perspective to fall away. You're allowing these scattered pieces that have no warrant and no foundation in your life to just to go away. And you're building your sense of self from the ground up with your own intent and own perception and perspective in mind. This is very much a sense of individuality and independence that's happening here. And the Skeleton card is telling you that with the strength that you know that you have, maybe it's not as apparent because you've been through quite a lot of trauma in the past. But with this strength, you will be able to move forward, and allowing your mind to not be your worst enemy here is going to give you the path forward that you need. If people were telling you to doubt yourself before, and if they were giving you self-doubt, not listening to them and allowing yourself to take some confidence and some strength in yourself will allow this part of your life to move forward. Well, group 2, I hope this was helpful at all, and if it resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below, and I will now move on to group 3. Okay, group 3. Welcome to your card pull for the day. So the oracle card that you got today is the Trick or Treat, Mischief and Play card. And this is probably one of the most fun cards out of this deck. So I'm very excited to see it here. It's essentially telling you that joy in life is just as important as everything else. And maybe that has gotten lost in the hubbub of, adulting or transitioning to new phases of your life, And sometimes when we strike out on a new path, we forget the joy and the excitement of what actually brought us onto that path to begin with. And I'm kind of seeing that with your cards. So in the past position, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and I really see you here striving for independence. And whatever way this manifested, this could be choosing to take a new job. This could be maybe freelancing. It could be getting out of a relationship. But I really do feel like this is more foundational. Maybe like went and got your own apartment, and so you're living by yourself for the first time. Or you decided to go traveling for the first time by yourself. And there's just definitely the sense of independence and striking out on your own and really making a new path for yourself, which is so exciting in my opinion. Like, look at this girl. She's totally feeling herself. And like, whatever decision you made to come to this point, it was out of a sense of maturity, a kind of a sense of wanting to do what was right for you. And it was the right decision for sure. But what we're seeing now is the Eight of Pentacles. So it's kind of a step back that you had expected so it's kind of a step back from what you expected to go, right? So maybe there's a sense of feeling maybe like you're being taken advantage of, or maybe you're spread really, really thin, and there could be a sense of real exhaustion and just mental loss, basically, and kind of some brain fog maybe, which is kind of similar to the pile 1. So if you felt drawn to both of these piles, maybe you could go back and watch the pile 1 video part. But basically, there's just a sense of loss here that maybe you weren't expecting, and it was maybe you've kind of gotten pulled away from your initial reasoning why you decided to do this, why you decided to go on this venture or adventure. We also see like the leaves falling here. We see things being blown away, and maybe there's a sense of just drifting. Maybe you lost your purpose. You don't know where you're going, or what you're doing is right. Maybe you felt a sense of loss in whatever business proposition you decided to go into, or maybe the promotion you took just really isn't working out and it's not making you happy anymore. Or there might just be people around you that are just not supporting you. And it's really getting you down. And what we're saying here with this Wheel of Fortune card is what kind of struck me, honestly, is that we see this like hand here that's reaching out and going to turn the Wheel of Fortune. And both of these characters on these cards have very like kind of skeletal hands. And so to me, it kind of makes it seem like you have the kind of power over your luck and your fortune right now. Usually the Wheel of Fortune is very much a kind of fate and karma card, but I really feel like in this point, you're Lady Luck. You know, like you set out on this path for the right reasons, and the universe knows it, and you know it. But maybe there's been something that's just been lost in communication, right? And maybe you've just felt the loss, and you are disconnected from the reasons why you decided to do this to begin with, you know? And this card is really telling you to kind of tap back into those really inspirational, wonderful points in your life that made you want to do this. Like perhaps you knew that striking out on your own would allow you the independence and freedom that you've always desired and that you did not get growing up. Or maybe it allows you to go, you have more freedom to go and see things. Maybe you're much more of a adventurous person than you weren't able to kind of embody that before. Or maybe this venture really, really speaks to your creative side, and in the meantime, you haven't been able to kind of express that creative side very much, and this spread is telling you to go ahead, tap back into that, get back to the reason why you wanted to go ahead and do this and strike forward on this path in your life. Because what you're doing is absolutely fruitful. And, you know, when the wheel goes in the other direction, you're going to be going from the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, which is pure happiness and abundance, you know? Like, there is certainly abundance here. You are doing okay, but you're just missing that part of happiness and maybe relationship and maybe just a feeling of support and creative output. I think that's what you're needing right here. And Trick or Treat is definitely telling you to tap into that side of yourself that you might have lost recently. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you tuning in for this first pick a card. It's Halloween themed and it was very fun to do, very fun to read for you guys. Let me know if this resonates, and I will talk to you guys soon.